What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with Andrew Cooper. A little technical difficulties this morning, but we scrambled. We figured it out. And here we are, all for you guys. NFL Week 1 action here, Coop. Nothing better, right?
Doesn't get better than that. Trying to get everybody in here. Looks like people are trickling in. There's Rex. There's Dan Schwartz, Lewis, everybody. Sorry about that other stream, but hey, we're up and running. We're answering every one of your questions today in the chat. Get them in, and we'll get up and going. But yeah, I'm so excited to see all this offseason, all this work, all this speculation. We're going to get some answers today. It's good. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it, Johnny?
It really is. Like you said, we've spent a lot of time preparing for Week 1 NFL. Kicked off with a nice, exciting Thursday night football matchup there between the Ravens and Chiefs. I know you had to have been thrilled to see Isaiah Likely pop off the way you were touting him all offseason as like the number one and really only tight end handcuff to draft if you were to be drafting Mark Andrews, or the guy to grab later in your best ball drafts in case something was to happen to Mark Andrews. I listened to you. I drafted Isaiah Likely in my best ball teams, and we got like 31 fantasy points out of him here in Week 1.
Right. Yeah, and we'll see, because the thing is, it still could be a split between Flowers and Andrews and Likely. Right now, he's looking like the number one waiver ad, but again, so much football to be played. We have the spotlight on these two games right now, but there's about to be 8 games at 1 o'clock coming up in a little over an hour from now. So it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. But we got a lot of people in the chat with a lot of questions. Should we dive in on some questions?
Yeah, let's just get into it. Again, we appreciate you all finding us here. It's a little bit of a new experience with us getting going here with Week 1 NFL. So Rex popped in, Dan, as you mentioned, Lewis in the chat, half-point PPR, 2 wide receivers and a flex, Ridley, Waddle, Moss, Edwards, Harris, Moore, Yosivas, and Samuel. Needs 2 and a flex.
2 and a flex. So for me, I'm definitely starting. I know that Waddle had the non-contact jersey, all that. I'm still starting him. This matchup is too good with the Jaguars and the Dolphins. I think it's going to be a shootout. So I'm starting Waddle. I'm starting Ridley. And then I think, honestly, you got to start DJ Moore. He was just so good last year, and he's the number one guy. I know that, Zamir White and Najee, these are kind of quote-unquote safe plays. But for me, when you have that many good players, you're probably in a league where everybody's got good players, and you got to go for upside, right, John?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, where, especially early on, right? You don't want to go into Week 1 benching sort of your quote unquote studs, right? Like,
Exactly.
Don't want to overthink it. You want to play your top guys there. So I'm fully in there. If you're playing DFS, you want to throw in some Yosivas or something like that. Like, sure. But play your top guys here in Week 1.
You drafted them in that order. Obviously, you drafted guys like DJ Moore and Waddle and Ridley before you took Zach Moss. You know what I mean? So that's the way you got to roll.
Agreed. And in the chat saying hi to us, Rex. Ryan's in the chat. We got a question here from Bill. Godwin or McLaurin for a PPR?
In full PPR, I'm starting Chris Godwin. He's so safe. Baker Mayfield was a top 10 quarterback in fantasy last year. You can't take that away. And Godwin is moving back into the slot this year. The year before last, he played, 2 years in a row, he's played around 900 snaps or so. The year before last, he played 600 in the slot, 300 out wide. Last year, I don't know why they had him 600 out wide, 300 in the slot. The new offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, said he's going back in the slot. He came over from the Rams, where Cooper Kupp has been the slot champion of the world. I think that Chris Godwin is in for a big year. And obviously, we don't know what Terry's going to look like with Jaden Daniels. So go with Godwin.
Yeah, listen, I'm a little obviously bullish, I think, for McLaurin and where he was going in drafts. And maybe as we see Daniels develop. But, you got Week 1 on the road. I'm in on Godwin. This is one of the best matchups I think we'll see the Buccaneers have all season long, given how bad the secondary is there for Washington. A lot of hellos here. Dan, obviously our guy. Ani Coop's in there trying to Ponch in there is in here as well. Dominic has a question. Swift, Shakir, Thomas, flex spot, half PPR.
That's an interesting one. For me, even though I'm not high on DeAndre Swift, I think that's the play for me. Shakir, we don't know what his role is going to be. When I look around over there, he could still be a part-time player, because Dalton Kincaid is going to get a lot of slot snaps as well. And then Brian Thomas on the outside, intriguing as well. But, as the de facto split end, he's probably going up against Jalen Ramsey, right, John?
Yeah, I assume so. I know Ramsey was dealing with some hamstring issues, but if he's good to go, they're going to be dealing with that for sure, and those things can pop up. I like that game stack today. If you're in DFS, Thomas is pretty cheap. He's under
Yes.
DraftKings, so you can certainly kind of get your exposure there, like we like to say. Hedge in DFS, play your guys in seasonal. So
Yeah.
certainly
They're not going to put Jalen Ramsey on Gabe Davis, and Ramsey
right.
doesn't go in the slot.
Doesn't go in the
So,
slot. Yep,
right.
I
So
agreed.
it's not a good setup for him.
Ann wants to know White, Singletary, D Hop, or Yosivas here. Need 2 in a PPR.
So we're gonna go Zamir White here. John, you've been banging the Zamir White drum since before he was
Couple years, yeah.
for years now, and we finally get a look at him. He looks big. He looks ready to go. So I'm going to go White. The question is Hopkins or Singletary. If Hopkins is fully healthy, that'd be the easy play. But he's kind of banged up. He's going to see some Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
Singletary though on the Giants. What do you think, John?
So I don't mind Singletary because he does have some pass catching ability. He's shown that during his time with Houston. He showed that obviously in Buffalo 2 years ago. He's one of like the leading target getters for running backs. So I'm fine going Singletary if you want. It's obviously Minnesota. We don't think too much of this offense in in New York here, but if you want to say Singletary might be the safest play because there's not much
Right.
behind him, like he's going to be on the field. He's going to get touches in both the passing and the running game. So if you want to go both running backs, I'm fine. I'm also okay with D Hop. If they say he is good to go, then I trust that he is good to go here. My problem with Yoshivash is they don't know if Jamar Chase is going to play or not today. There's been reports all day that he has been limited. He was sick yesterday. He's got the contract flu. He doesn't think he's going to sign yet. So, if he's going to be the number one wide receiver or him and Burton or something like that today, I think the Patriots secondary is good enough to cover those two, right?
It might be better for Yoshi if Jamar Chase does play, because otherwise he faces Christian Gonzalez, and Yoshi Voss, we like the idea of it, which is what makes him a good DFS play at his price. But you got to remember, this guy has played in some games. He played 92% of the snaps in a game last year. He's never had more than 36 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I know Howard loves the idea and the upside, but you got to recognize that the floor is that this guy isn't just okay,
Yep, I agree. Comments from there. Let's see. Need a defense. 49ers, Vikings, Falcons, Giants, or Bucks. I know a lot of people are on the Falcons defense here today. I am as well. Justin Fields possibly looking like the starting quarterback today for Pittsburgh. Game time decision still on Russell Wilson. Don't have, at least I haven't seen official word one way or the other yet on whether or not he's going to play or not. But, Falcons at home, revamped defense. They added Matthew Judon. I'm feeling pretty good about them today.
If this is a redraft question versus like a DFS question, just keep in mind there's a second side to defense questions. If you have to drop your defense to make the move, then don't do it. Like if you have to drop the 49ers defense to start the Falcons, then just start the 49ers. If you have the capacity to add the Falcons without dropping the 49ers, then do that, but don't sacrifice your season for 1 week is what I'm saying.
Yeah. For sure. 100%.
So don't drop.
I am a little bullish on Falcons defense long term this year too. That division certainly a little tasty. Knowing Carolina, Baker Mayfield on the road, you don't know what you're going to get out of the Saints there. I think the Falcons. Many people are high on the Falcons. Maybe they're going to be your week one fantasy disappointment, like you and Bender were talking about on the XM show the other day. Here's a tight end question for you: Brock Bowers or Ron Johnson?
I'm going Brock Bowers just because he's going to play wide receiver. The question isn't whether he's going to play a lot with where he was drafted. The question is whether he is the second target. If it's him versus Jacoby Myers, that's the game. With Juwan Johnson, he's been in a boot all offseason. There's all this talk about Taysom Hill playing more tight end. There's the 2 tight end sets. They have Foster Moreau. I think Brock Bowers, as crazy as it sounds, as a rookie, given his draft capital, is more locked into a role than Juwan is. So I'm going Brock.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Let's see. We got that there.
Russ Lyons next. Yeah.
Russ wants to know Freiermuth. They just officially announced Fields as the quarterback today. So they get Freiermuth at tight end, or they can add your boy Taysom Hill, Hunter Henry, and obviously Isaiah Likely for next week. So wants to know if Freiermuth's still a long-term season player for you, or would you be looking to make a move?
Yeah, I mean, I still like Muth. I like him better with Russ as the quarterback, though. So I actually, in my own league, I believe it was an FFPC league, I put in Hunter Henry over Pat Fryermuth, and I will have Hunter Henry ranked one spot ahead of Fryermuth today. I like Hunter Henry with Jacoby Brissett more than I like Fryermuth with Justin Fields.
Sure.
Justin Fields. The thing is, Cole Kmet was a the tight end 7, but he was very inconsistent. It was all based on touchdowns and I don't know. I don't trust it week 1. So I'm going to go Henry here. And Taysom Hill, just for me in any sort of PPR format, I don't trust that guy to get consistent targets. I believe in our ability to find breakout players. So I'm never using a roster spot on a coin flip. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Well, I mean, obviously, it's not just the receptions, right? It's when they get in the red zone, they, for whatever reason, like to take like Kamara and Carr off the field. They're like, here
right.
you go, Taysom. Like,
Well, that's
run
the
it in,
thing. That's why he's a coin flip. If he was getting receptions and getting
Right.
that, then it'd be great. And
And
again,
he
this week
did for like 3 weeks last year. Remember, he was basically their number one
when Jawan
tight
Johnson
end
was out.
receiver there.
Yeah,
So
when Jawan Johnson was out, he was running 40 routes a game. But when
yeah,
Jawan Johnson was playing, he was running 8. So
uh,
we'll see what it looks like today. Again, just stick with what you have, and if we'll sort through waivers when it's time for waivers.
agreed. Yeah, Coop's got 3 waiver wire articles
3.
out for you guys on Fantasy Lime. He's got your traditional waiver wire, and then if you're a Fantasy Lime subscriber, and if you see the scroll down at the bottom, right now you can try All Pro for free for 7 days. FantasyLime.com/win. That means you sign up today. You not only get next week's DFS content, but you'll also get Coop's Streamers and Stashes article, which is for All Pro members only, to help you guys answer questions just like that. What do I
Right.
do at the tight end position? Check out Streamers and Stashes from Coop. That comes out on Tuesdays here. You got to be an all pro member to get it. FantasyLime.com/win. We appreciate all of you that are tuning in here today. Again, we apologize for the delay getting the show going. If you want to hit that like, that subscribe, that share button, it is a free way to support the work we do here over at Fantasy Alarm on our YouTube channel, on our X channel as well. If you haven't already given Coop and I a follow over on X, you see our Twitter handles right there as well. All support is certainly appreciated. Our guy Chris Diaz playing the FanDuel Millie today, looking to win the million week 1 here. Coop,
Let's go.
you got a number 1 DFS play today. You got one guy that you're plugging into your lineups, your go-to matchup. What are we doing?
I do. I'm going with you can create a lot of leverage, in my opinion, starting a guy like Greg Dulcich this week
Sure.
because he's so cheap. 3,000 on DraftKings. I think he's like 4,800 on FanDuel when the minimum typically on FanDuel for tight ends is like 4,500. So he's right there at the bottom. They cut Tim Patrick. All the pricing came out before Tim Patrick was cut,
Right.
before these jobs were settled. Like he could be the second target on that team. And if that's the case, this is the cheapest he'll ever be. And when you have a player that cheap, you can spend up everywhere else.
Agreed. Wyatt calling in here. I don't know if you saw Coop, Tyreek Hill getting arrested, pulling the Scotty Scheffler, heading into the stadium here today for reckless driving. That guy, he's had a lot of offseason issues here. Can't even get into week 1 without yet another legal matter popping up. But according to the agent and reports, he is going to be ready to go and play today.
You can't make those guys angry.
Arresting Tyreek Hill today, like, 1, what are your thoughts? And 2, does he go off and have just an epic game here today?
That's the thing, man. With gremlins, dude. If you pour water on the gremlins, they only get crazier.
Yeah.
This guy is gonna go nuts today, dude. I'm sure he's all fired up.
So. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the highest expected rostered players in DFS today, anyways. In that matchup against Jacksonville, that game has the highest implied total. I think the last I saw was like 49 or 49.5, depending on where you go. So yeah, I mean, people were plugging him in anyways, and yeah, now if you even wanted the narrative,
he's gonna go bonkers,
you got that. Dak Prescott getting paid here, 4-year, $231 million extension. Breaking news right now. So Jerry Jones opening the wallet, paid CeeDee Lamb, now paid the quarterback. Can set those controversies down. If you're Jamar Chase, you're probably sitting there being like, "What the hell, man? Where's my money?" You know,
just in the nick of time, Jerry comes in last minute. You know, while they're stretching, he walked down and was like, "Hey, by the way,
here's your check." You know, right?
Exactly. That's classic Jones for you.
Bill wants to know Jameson Williams or Austin Eckler here, PPR flex.
That's interesting. I think in this case, you got to go JMO.
Okay.
They're really high on him, and that game's going to be a shootout and has shootout potential, as we saw from guys like Jaden Reed and Rashid Shaheed last year, and Jameis Williams himself. he did, given his explosiveness and getting a couple handoffs or whatever, like he can rip off a big play.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler just, I want to see it. I think he's going to have half that role. But if you have half a role with a mobile QB in an offense we expect to be bad, how good is that going to be? It's why I'm scared for Brian Robinson and I'm scared for Austin
Yeah,
Eckler.
this
But
is certainly going to be one of those like you'll immediately find out situations with
right.
Austin Eckler, right? If he's out there for 30% of the snaps and he gets 2 targets and like 3 carries, you're like, I don't know,
Yeah, could be gross.
I don't know,
Could be
right?
gross, man.
Could
And
be
the thing
gross.
is, it's like if you take those two guys, Brian Robinson and Eckler, and you somehow put them onto the Lions, and it's a good offense, and Jared Goff has no interest in running ever, then I love them both.
Yeah,
But when you put them on a bad offense with a quarterback that if Jaden Daniels rolls out in the flat and it's him and Eckler out there, he's going to say go block. Whereas
yeah.
Jared Goff says, "Here, you take it." So that's what scares me a little bit with Eckler. But
Yeah,
I do like him.
FanDuel throwing everybody off today by including the 8 p.m. game on the main
What
slate.
is that? That's not normal, right? So
No,
Howard was saying
it is
that
not
too.
normal. Hopefully, it's not the new normal, but FanDuel
I don't
also
like that.
changed their scoring going into this season. They now added bonus points for 300-yard games, 100-yard rushing, 100-yard receiving. They'd never had those before. So, FanDuel looking for ways to be different.
Different. Yeah, I mean, sneaky move, and I kind of like it because it's like now, because we were always looking for ways to choose. Do I want to play DraftKings? Do I want to play FanDuel? With DraftKings is half full PPR. That was
Yeah.
half. That was kind of the only difference. Now you say, hey, do you want this game on the slate? Me personally, I'd rather not have that because everybody is
It
in their
takes
uncle.
stacking the late night hammer to a whole new extreme.
Yeah.
Back we used to stack the 4 p.m. slate. You got that 425, Chiefs game. You plug in all the Chiefs and you have that late exposure. Well, now, you're not settling up until Sunday night football. I'm sure there are plenty of people with bankrolls that count on, getting that money in so they can spend it on the showdown slates. Maybe FanDuel
Right.
will realize this ends up being a detriment to that.
It's 52.5 over under. So everybody's going to have that game stacked. To this week, I'll play DraftKings.
Jamar Chase officially active, but expected to be limited. T. Higgins officially inactive for today. So a limited Jamar Chase. We've seen guys say they're going to be limited and play full games. We've seen guys say they're going to be limited and play 3 snaps. So it will be interesting. And what's your risk exposure to Jamar Chase in seasonal and DFS today?
So I moved him in DFS. No, absolutely not, because he's priced so high. Even the guy like I mentioned on the show, the Sirius show, even a guy like Justin Jefferson is priced at his ceiling. These guys are priced at their ceiling because that's how these sites operate. So I'm not paying ceiling price for guys that I don't think are in a ceiling situation. I'll pay for Amon-Ra St. Brown because everything is great, right? But I'm not going to pay for either of those guys. With redraft leagues, I have Chase. I moved him down into like the wide receiver 2 range, where if you have mega stars, get him in there. And even if you have a guy like Terry McLaurin or Chris Godwin in that range, maybe I would do it. But I wouldn't go down and start guys that we don't even know what their role is, like a Rome Odunze or Keon Coleman. Like half or 75% of Jamar Chase is still better than most of the wide receiver 3s. Like last year, by the end of the year, Gabe Davis was like wide receiver 36, 37, 38. It's like we romanticize what a wide receiver 3 is. There's really only so many great players. So just start Jamar Chase and he'll probably still be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Most obviously most times than not. And PPR Zeke, JSN, Yossi Vaz here. I kind of want to go JSN, I think.
I would go JSN as well. This Ryan Grubb offense is built for these guys to play 11 personnel. No more rotating tight ends like Shane Waldron would do. Colby Parkinson's gone. Will Disley's gone. It's going to be the 3 wide receivers and Noah Fant every snap. And JSN could potentially make that jump in a situation like that because not only is Tyler Lockett getting up there, but he's been wearing a patellar tendon band on his knee.
Yeah.
And he's been kind of banged up. So I think JSN starting now could be the second target on that team.
And listen, they took him in the first round last year. Everybody sort of thought the natural progression was he would eventually take over for Lockett. Could very well happen right now. I was saying, having conversation in our Discord, the reason Russell Wilson, I think, was trying to play so hard was like, you don't want to. What if Justin Fields has a good game today?
Right.
Russell Wilson may not start again, right? Like, these guys, they're looking, they need to kind of hold on to their opportunities. If Tyler Lockett is hurt, can't go out there. It's not that the Seattle doesn't know what he can bring, but if JSN goes out there and looks younger, faster, fresher, all of a sudden now JSN's your number 2 and Lockett's, moving down the chart there.
One of the greatest old head football lies is you can't lose your job to injury. Right? The coaches are telling you that. You absolutely, that's how virtually everyone loses their job.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's exactly how it happens. Like it used to be that way. That's what they would tell the seniors in high school football. Like you don't lose your job to injury. In the NFL, that's how virtually every job gets changed.
Goff or Richardson here today. They got both Amon-Ra and Gibbs.
I have Richardson ahead just for mobile.
Yeah,
upside.
Richardson is definitely, I think, the guy for the upside play. But
6-point pass. Let's say it's 6-point passing, John.
I still think I lean Richardson, but it's good.
Yeah.
Look at the rushing numbers that Richardson had last year. I mean, he had multiple rushing touchdowns. Now, the argument against that is obviously there's no Jonathan Taylor for those early games for him there. But I mean, Moss was really good during that stretch. The rushing upside alone for me, I think, just gives the lean to Richardson.
If you want to be, if you're personally a really conservative gamer, then go Goff.
Goff has the higher floor. I agree with you.
Yeah, but upside.
Bender calling out my white fantasy alarm.
There it is.
Appreciate it, Bender. Hopefully, I know I'm actually pronouncing it incorrect, but we had a whole thing on pronouncing Yosivas, and I think I have the first part of it right, but we'll figure it out.
So I think it is Yosivas, but the curveball is that his nickname is Yoshi.
Yeah.
So you want to say Yoshi? It throws me off too. We
had a whole phonics segment during our DFS show on how to pronounce it.
Where's Dustin Ludke's got all the pronunciations. Where's he when you need him, right?
Our guy Justin Fenchman, he used to have the pronunciations for every name down pat as well. Yeah. Fields or Levis for Scott Fishbowl?
Levis. I'm going Levis. Fields, I mean, you got to remember that Fields didn't win the job. Like he's playing because the starter is hurt. And where he's confirmed he's playing though, right, John? I was on.
Yeah, officially inactive. Yeah. Okay. Russell Wilson officially inactive today.
Okay.
I had some questions on Twitter this morning for Dak versus Levis. Where are you with Dak Prescott going into Cleveland here today?
I don't love it, but I still didn't move him down outside my top 15. Right. Okay. So I still do have him in the top 15, whereas Levis is like on the edge of those like high risk, high reward guys. I mean, Dak still, was QB3 last year, and he still has CeeDee Lamb, and he's still going to be fine.
Yep. Spears, McLaughlin, Dobbins, 1 point PPR.
I think you got to go Tajay Spears here because Jaleel is at best getting 40% of the work here. He's not a big player, and Dobbins is just a complete wild card because he didn't play at all during the preseason.
Yeah,
not at all. So I think you go Spears because I think Spears gets. My take on it, John, from listening to the running back coach talk about the situation, is he considers a carry and a reception as a touch. And he said, I'm counting touches this year, not carries. That at the very least tells us this guy has split in his mind. Yeah. So I think it will be 50-50. Maybe one guy gets more carries, one guy gets more receptions, but I think they're trying to keep it down the middle, which, that's better than what you have from Jaleel McLaughlin, probably.
I agree. Let's see. Sox wants to know Burton or Yosivas here.
I like Yosivas because he beat him out. He beat out Burton on the depth chart.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait and see what the inactive. I don't imagine Burton's inactive, but I mean, there were some pretty rough comments from coaches about not even just media, from coaches about Burton and the lack of maturity and effort he was putting out there. And obviously he had issues in college, which had him transfer and fall down draft boards. Like
there was somebody leaked. Well, actually, they leaked it themselves. The Giants had. They said that, but the Giants also had. You saw their draft board. They put it on Hard Knocks, and they had like 6 players highlighted in purple as like character issue guys, and Jermaine Burton's name was highlighted.
Yeah.
So, like we know, he went to 6 different schools over the last 4 years, right? Like we know that this guy's character issue. So if they're saying that he's not working hard, then I mean, the coaches decide who plays.
I mean, that's what it is. And you never know what gets into a guy's mind, right? You make it all the way to the NFL and you're just not going to try.
Dude, that happened with Chris Carter, and he was almost out of the league. And then he quit drinking and quit doing drugs and became a Hall of Famer. We
Right.
saw it with Darren Waller.
He got his
Darren
fall
Waller
guy and everything was all set,
got a
so
fall guy. Yeah, Jermaine Burton needs a fall guy. Darren Waller was briefly out of the league,
yeah,
right? It's like this can happen.
definitely,
Josh Gordon.
definitely can happen. I always go Josh Hamilton in the MLB, right? That guy had a lot of problems, able to come back for it, was an MVP, and if you're able to kind of get straight, you can show the talents there. Cook, Herbert or Daniels here. Worried about some rain. I think the latest weather report was that there is going to be some light precipitation, but it wasn't even sure if it was going to be over the stadium or not. But either way, do you like Herbert in this new run style offense or the rookie on the road opening the season?
With all the, if this was the Herbert of last year, it's easy. But I mean, with so many question marks, there's question marks for both players. I'm just going to go with the guy who I think is going to run for like 60, 70, 80 yards.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. Listen, if you believe that too, go bet his rushing props today. I felt like I was being tricked. All the quarterback rushing numbers are like relatively low here today. It's like 37 and a half, 30 and a half, I think I saw, or something like that. So yeah.
Interesting.
Or the projections for him rather are low on his rushing totals. So I also liked the over though on those things.
As I log into the sports book,
as you look at go check out the sport. Let me know if that's changed. I was looking at not really our projections, but a couple of different projections to see if it really was as low. But I'm only seeing like 36, 40 rushing yards for Daniels today.
I'm gonna see what I can find. Get another question going.
Do I take the Dubs 9 points or roll with Yoshi? Can you swap out an FFPC?
Oh yeah, FFPC gives you a free look. So everybody make sure, because the big contest, the main events, things like that, they want to have drafts on Saturdays. So they were drafting yesterday. So you can actually swap those out.
Okay.
I go for the upside, man. Go for the upside with Yoshi.
You saw that Saquon went 1-1 on Saturday in the FFPC main event draft, didn't you? People saw the runs, people saw the game, and they're like, all right, 1-1, let's go.
I mean, 3 touchdowns. He looked great. He looked explosive. He looked like he was having fun. So the rushing prop on MGM for Jaden Daniels is 40.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't it feel low?
Minus 120 to bet the under, minus 110 to bet the over.
Right? We just saw Lamar Jackson run for like 100 yards. And everybody's saying that Daniels has the highest rushing upside of any of the rookie quarterbacks that came out of the league of the draft this year. I don't know. You tell me, Coop. Doesn't that
I officially have $100 on it.
On the over? Yeah. All right.
As of just now.
Listen, I felt the same way. I was stunned to see.
If he doesn't run for 40 yards, man, that is going to be rough, because
they're going to run RPOs and things.
We don't expect him to pass. We don't expect him to pass for like crazy.
No, and he's more. And rookie quarterbacks are more likely to take off when they don't see a guy open. Like, they don't throw the ball away; they run with it. So, I like that. Justin W, Javonte or Kirk? Christian Kirk's been one of my favorite guys to draft all season long, but I know Javonte. Many people are high on him. One, matchup against Seattle, but two, year 2 from the knee injury and the Sean Payton offense that they got going on there. Joe Lombardi thrown to the running backs.
Both very good options, to be honest, especially in full PPR. I typically side with the running back, but Christian Kirk is in such a good position to succeed this week. John, what do you think? Where are you going?
Putting it back on me. Smart move. I'm gonna go.
It's these guys rank so close. Kirk is the safe play, but Javonte, I think he's gonna get a good chunk of targets, and he's starting running back now.
I don't want to go against Kirk because that game flow, man.
Yeah, go with Christian Kirk. He's the safe play. Jalen Ramsey's on the outside. He never comes in the slot. So I think Ingram and Kirk are very safe plays.
Yeah, I like it. Another Javonte or Tank Dell for PPR.
And again, this is an upside versus a floor play. And you've been around the block as long as we have, and you know that it's the safe play is Javonte, the upside play is Tank Dell. I'm going to go Javonte for this first one. I just don't like that Tank could be the odd man out for 2 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, my one thing with Tank Dell, I like him in GPP tournaments today, because if they go 3 wide receivers, what's the defense going to be focusing on? They're going to be focused on Stephon Diggs and be focused on Nico Collins. You could get single coverage on Tank Dell. He's just going to fly by whoever's on him out there. And only takes one play with a guy like Tank Dell to make the 50-yard touchdown. Right. So if you want to be contrarian in tournaments today, I think Tank Dell. On the other side, Adonai Mitchell, super cheap in DraftKings, $3,800. if you're looking for an upside play off Yosivas, who's 3K, spend a few more dollars and get Adonai Mitchell there, who no Josh Downs, I think you can get some exposure there.
Right. Alec Pierce was useless last year. I think Adonai Mitchell's actually going to go into the slot. Let's do some rapid fire here to get caught up. We'll hang potentially a couple minutes late because we got started a couple minutes late, but let's do some rapid fire to get caught up because I know we'll get a lot of questions.
All right. Ethan needs 2. Chase, Adunze, McConkey, Myers, Yosivas, half-point PPR.
So in that situation, I am going to start Yosivas, and I'm going to start Chase Brown, the 2 Bengals.
Do I benchmark Andrews or play Otton Juwan in FFPC?
I think for 4 points, you got to bench him. You have to go give yourself a shot at upside. I would start Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, dude, the touchdowns last year for Juwan Johnson were a good amount there.
Right, exactly.
White, Kirk, or Hubbard full point PPR?
Christian Kirk.
Bucks, Chargers, Dolphins.
I like the Bucks defense a lot today, to be honest. I don't think the Chargers defense is amazing, and it's going up against Devontae Adams still, I'm going to go Bucks against the rookie QB.
Yeah, that's fine. You can get some turnovers there. Another Javonte or Kirk question. I'm going to go Kirk there. Pick 1 of 3, Najee, Singletary, Moss, full PPR.
Oh, man. It's got to be either Zach Moss or Najee.
I'm going Moss because I think the Falcons defense now at Fields just sell out to stop the run.
Right. And go Zach Moss. The Patriots, not only did they trade Matthew Judon, but Christian Barmore, I mean, he has blood clots. We have no idea when he'll ever come back from that. So they're just missing.
And if all those receivers are out for Cincy, like check down City for Zach Moss today.
Right. That's why the spread's still 7.5. Is that the Patriots don't have a defensive line and they're just
no offense.
And they got the 2 big boys, Orlando and Trent Brown, out there at tackle for the Bengals. They're just going to smash the Patriots.
I forgot about the Trent Brown revenge game narrative.
Revenge game, yeah. There you go.
Run over people. Olave or Ridley half PPR for Lewis.
I like Olave. I think that this new 2-2, it's going to be heavily consolidated among the 2 wide receivers with the fullback and what Clint Kubiak does.
Yep, agreed. Over half handcuff TD celebrations for Tyreek. Probably over, right? Yeah. There's definitely something going on there. D-Hop is battling a torn MCL. I heard it was an MCL injury. I mean, he's playing through it. So I don't know, Coop, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, a sprain is a torn ligament. It's just not torn all the way through. We're talking about fibers. Like you can take a shirt. If I tear this shirt, like you can hear it tearing, but it doesn't tear all the way through. That's what a sprain is. So he's going to try and play through that. And that's what happens is guys try and play through that. And then it, could potentially tear, but as long as he's playing, then he should be out there and he'll be all right. But the concern is that these guys go out there and play like 50% of the snaps, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Ethan wondering if YouTube gets anything special for Coop to wear.
Yeah, I mean, these are the Twitch glasses. Shout out to the Twitch gang.
Honestly, in the scramble to get this reset up, I had forgotten to get Twitch. So we just connected to Twitch now. So
I got these, Johnny, for you. I got an extra pair of here. These are for you. Next time we hang out, I got you a pair of Twitch glasses.
You got me a pair of Twitch glasses? All right,
I got you. Same pair. I guess we can go with the blacks for the YouTube, but then I'd just be looking like Mike Tomlin the entire thing. I got all sorts of glasses here on the table for all sorts of things. So you let me know.
Dude, I was working at your desk 2 weekends ago. He literally has 30 pairs of sunglasses just on his desk. I don't know.
You just never know. You need the Miami flu glasses right here. Yeah. There you go, dude.
They need the Miami Vice glasses now, right? With him getting arrested.
When Sam Laporta finished as the tight end 1. Celebration time, baby. So, but let's get back to questions. We got to load this up. I'm just going
Higgins is out. Yosivas. Need a defense here from Paul. 49ers, Vikings, Falcons,
we
Giants.
did this question already. If you can add the Falcons without dropping the 49ers, then do that.
We did that one already for Mile High Luke. We want the Yosivas over Dubs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tight end premium, Diggs, D-Hop currently in on the bench. Chuba, Zeke, Henry.
You have it right.
You make any switches?
Leave it with D-Hop. I guess you could do Chuba over D-Hop, but I mean, Saints defense isn't bad at all. I mean, they got Demario Davis. I don't know. Would you go Chuba over D-Hop, John, with the knee?
Yeah.
All right. Chuba and Diggs then. And
he ended that season with like 4 20-plus carry games. So
I know. I just can't believe it. I can't believe Chuba.
They don't have anyone else behind him. Our girl Sarah Plesh in the chat wants to know Dunze or Samuel.
But in that case, I would go with Doomsday because Curtis Samuel has turf toe.
Yeah, I'm good there. Let's see. Need Singletary, Javonte Williams, Brian Robinson, or Swift. 2.5 PPR.
I'm starting Javonte Williams and Singletary.
Sure. Zamir White or Najee Harris. I'm going White here.
Yeah, we like White. I think he's going to be in the full role versus Najee, who, of course, is going to seed some. And also, now he's got a mobile QB, Justin Fields, out there. And, you know how that goes. Sometimes those guys get down the red zone, and it's easier to take it yourself.
Favorite quarterback for today, Coop?
That's you, Johnny. No, you're the QB whisperer.
I'm using Anthony Richardson in DFS. So I got him. And then a value play, I got Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, I like that. So easy to stack him, too.
So easy to stack against the Commanders. So those are the two I'm running out there today. Chase or McConkey for FFPC?
I think either Chase, whether it's Chase Brown or Jamar Chase, I'm starting them. McConkey, McConkey's a player I'm very excited to have on my bench, but I'm not super excited to have him in my lineup because, I mean, we don't know. We just don't know.
Alex says, who isn't a subscriber? I don't know. Right now you can subscribe for free. 7-day free trial. FantasyTime.com/win.
It's free real estate. It's free real estate. And when you see all the stuff you have, you can click our individual names and see all the different articles we do. I have 3 different waiver articles. I have the target totem pole being updated every single week. DFS, my tight end DFS coach, John, does the quarterbacks. It's like we take it so seriously. We have a different person covering each position for DFS versus, these other sites are just like, here are my blah, blah, blah. It's like, no.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, you want to leave a comment, it is free to hit that subscribe button. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button and you can immediately start leaving comments in chat. So it is a free way to support us. It doesn't cost you anything. You just get notified when we go live, which is relatively pretty often here on Fantasy Alarm. Right. And you're able to leave some comments in our chat, get your start say questions answered. Lewis has Chase. He is in. He's got Marvin Harrison, Waddle, DeAndre Johnson, Ridley Mixon, Kamara, Gus Edwards. Needs 2 wide receivers if he doesn't play. Would you play any 2 wide receivers over him? Like I might play Harrison and Waddle over Chase.
Yes, this is a situation where you do that. You start Harrison and Waddle because you have multiple megastars. You have the luxury in this case. So go there, and I would start Mixon, and I would start Kamara.
Yep.
I would start Harrison, Waddle, Mixon, Kamara. The thing about Kamara is people are worried about his long-term health, his longevity. In terms of like week 1, the entire so people were drafting him RB 15 or 16. The entire industry, you go to a site like Fantasy Pros or whatever, he's like RB 9. Like starting him against the Panthers is not the question. It's not why people didn't draft him. They didn't draft him because they think he's getting older. He might get hurt, but this week you start.
Agreed. Where was I? There we go. Let's see.
Joey Trees with the pick 1 Singletary.
Thomas Palmer.
We going Josh Palmer here, John?
No.
Singletary. You like Ryan Thomas Jr. I like him in DFS. I just worry he's going to get eaten.
I would go Singletary over Palmer in seasonal, yes.
Singletary, yeah. Because Jalen Ramsey, first game versus Jalen Ramsey is a nightmare. He's so mean.
He's going to be so here's my thing with Jalen Ramsey, right? Again, I understand he's active. The hamstring has been an issue for him all week, and Brian Thomas is just going to run downfield. He's just going to sprint. Yeah. See how the hamstrings hold up, right? Like, test them out early. So
have safeties, John.
Do they? We just saw Xavier Worthy wide open, Jaden Reed wide open. Nobody. Where were the safeties?
I'm going
Singletary for me, Jay.
I'm boring Singletary. If you want to go just wild upside, go Brian Thomas Jr. But as we mentioned earlier,
what does Palmer bring to the table here? My worry is that like they just want to run the football. Like does Herbert have more than 25 pass attempts in the game?
Well, that's the thing is that in games like this against the Raiders, you can do that. But throughout the season, this team, they got to play the Chiefs twice, John. Like you can't just run the football. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the best way to keep Mahomes out the field is to run the football.
They do that. If they could just run the ball all year, Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman.
That's what Greg Roman wants to do, right? That and throw to Hayden Hurst. All right, we got have Love on the bench. Had Love, Herbert on the bench. Should I drop Fields for another quarterback? You drafted
Fields for Trevor Lawrence. If you can add Trevor Lawrence, do it right now, and then start. Yeah, do that.
Probably true. I mean, all those guys are available to you. So, like, would you want to just wait and see on Fields? I mean, like, Fields is a top 5 quarterback 2 years ago.
Top 6.
Top
He
6, whatever.
threw for 2,000 yards. It was top 6.
He ran for 1,200.
Okay, so yeah, I guess so.
Right, just see, like, don't make the move now. Lawrence, Mayfield, Gene, all those guys are available on your waiver wires. It's not like they won't be there in 2 days, right? So,
Okay.
like, I want to wait and see on Justin Fields. That rushing upside is too crazy.
I think Trevor Lawrence good.
Another guy had Love get hurt, got offered Murray for Chubb. Well, let us know who's on your waiver wire because I really like Kyler Murray. So
so do I. But Love is just going to miss a couple games. If there's an easy fill in, then do it. But yeah, let us know who's on the wire.
Yeah, let us know who's there. Singletary and
McLaurin, go for upside.
Underdog pulled all the Tyreek props. Albert saying good morning. Ann wants to know Zamir or Chuba. I'm gonna go Zamir here.
Zamir, yeah.
Adani or Yosibas?
I go AD Mitchell. I think the Bengals are going to just run the ball, and then both teams are going to be like, "Are we done here?" Like, that game is going to be so bad. I'm telling you, the Patriots their best player is like David Andrews, right?
So you want a bet today, Coop? On FanDuel, I did first quarter receiving yards for Jalen Polk. It was like 2.5.
Oh, over. That's on there?
Dude.
Oh man, dude! If Jalen Polk isn't good, then they're gonna have. They might not score a point today. Like, they don't have any. Like, what are we expecting KJ Osborne to do?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So, like, I feel like that's just one. It's obviously just one catch for Jalen Polk.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So if you wanna go check it out, Jalen Polk. Sorry, first quarter plus 138. First quarter receiving yards, Jalen Polk over a half.
Is that on MGM? Where is that?
No, it's on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get these questions, and then after the show, you and I will put in 100 bets.
All right. So Grande saying nothing like waking up to a late night hammer. Love that with the Sunday game. Yep. Drop one for a kicker. Samuel Herbert, Chuba Flower. I definitely wouldn't be dropping in the second half.
Drop Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, Khalil Herbert's the guy you're dropping there.
Yeah.
Need one of Taysom Hill, Freiermuth, or Henry.
I'm starting Hunter Henry. It's Hunter Henry or Freiermuth for me. I'm not starting Taysom Hill. I refuse.
Start 2, Chuba, White, Hop, Phelan, Yoshi, Henry. FFPC.
Okay, so we're gonna start Zamir White,
yep.
and then
Chuba.
No, because I'm assuming that because if you can start Chuba and White, then I would do that.
Yeah,
if you have to start a pass catcher, then because there's a tight end in there. Yeah, start Chuba and White.
Yeah. Fields, Burrow, Cousins. I'm going Cousins here.
Yep, absolutely. Burrow is gonna be easy day for Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
a lot of hands.
Henry, Gesicki, Ronson, Okonkwo, Parkinson, Hurst.
Hunter Henry, you could put the blame on me. I think he's in a good position this year.
Talk to me about Colby Parkinson because his reception prop today is at 2.5.
Yeah, I mean if you like Dallas Goedert, then you would like guys like Cade Otton and Colby Parkinson, who are the third fiddle on the team. Their ceiling is capped because there's 2 good players, and they're going to probably catch a couple passes, 2 or 3 or 4, right? Like look at what Dallas Goedert did. If you like that, then you'll like the upside for Colby Parkinson. But for me, I look for guys that could be a top 2 target on the team flat out. So I'm looking at Henry, and honestly, I'm looking at Hurst next. I want upside. I don't care about like the floor. Floor doesn't matter at tight
end. But do you like the 2.5? Coop is the
yeah. I don't mind that too. That's exactly it. He's gonna have 2 or 3.
Yeah, McConkey over Chase.
Nah, too much.
Yeah, I feel with you. Let's see. Ayuk, Harrison, Neighbors, McLaurin, Olave need 3.
You can bench Neighbors, and honestly, I might bench Ayuk against the Jets. John, I'm gonna start Marvin Harrison. I'm gonna start Chris Olave.
I would have had a lot of respect. Actually, first of all, appreciate all the comments. Love in the chat. But if he entered this question 3 times, but once says dude love, once says mankind, and once says Captain Shaq, would have lost my mind.
And that's
the 3 faces of Foley throwing out the same question.
Nick Foley,
would have appreciated the hell out of it.
That would have been incredible. It's Harrison and Olave for sure for me.
Yep. Why is Kenneth Walker still low on the RB coach? Is Denver really that bad? No. Absolutely love Kenneth Walker. What do you mean so low? I guess is my question. I'll have to go check out.
Maybe Galeno has a fade for this week.
Does he have him as? I guess I should know. I guess I should know this.
I think I swear I looked at it, but maybe I didn't go down the fades.
Um,
I'll get. I'll do the next question. Anthony Richardson or Kirk Cousins? I'm going Anthony Richardson. Go for mobile upside, Paul.
sure.
That's the game here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do we think Puka has a good year? Yeah, if he stays healthy.
Well, the question was never whether Puka was going to have a good year. The question was, does he have a great year? Because you're drafting him in the first round. I think he's going to have a good year no matter what. Does he have a great year that's worth a first round pick? I don't know. But the draft is over. So if you have Puka, awesome. You should be in your lineup every single week. So
Sure.
yeah, there's no question. Like we got to take the draft and put it aside, and now we'll focus on now. So if you have Puka, great.
Maybe I'm commenting on the projections for Kenneth Walker. He's not, the thing is, Kenneth Walker doesn't catch passes. So in PPR formats, like his 12, 13 fantasy point projection is certainly not going to.
It's never going to knock your socks
Yeah.
off. But Ryan Grubb says he likes him. Ryan Grubb says he likes him as a pass catcher, but that just means to me like that they're going to use both Walker and Charbonnet. They're going to use both of them somehow. So maybe both will get carries and catches, or it'll just be like it was last year where Walker gets most of the rushes and
like it's difficult to, you're not going to go project somebody for 100 yards. Obviously, you can't project them for multiple touchdowns, even though if he ends up with a touchdown, he ends up with our projections of like 18 fantasy points, which would be more than enough. So
the beauty of Kenneth Walker is that we know that if there's a pass interference in the end zone, he's going to score that touchdown because he's definitely the goal line back. So it's like you get the floor of having the early down back that also could catch passes, but if he doesn't, that's why he's kind of boring.
Chase or Kirk in standard?
Standard Chase.
Let's see. Kamara, London, Williams, Godwin.
Just one.
Seems that way. Start one.
Alvin Kamara.
I agree with you. AD or Mitchell? We think we did this one already. I like AD.
We do like AD Mitchell.
Thoughts on Carr today in this matchup against Carolina?
Dude, if again another player where if Taysom Hill didn't exist, we would like Derek Carr. But the problem is he comes out of the game and the most important part of the field for fantasy football. So it's like you can never love Carr. You can only like him.
Agreed. I think we did this one already for Jay.
Yeah.
Chase or pivot to Neighbors in the PPR?
Man, that's right on the line, John. I think you got to go. I think I'll go Neighbors.
Yeah, I'm going Neighbors here.
It's just more fun.
Illness, contract, flu, limited, not a good game flow. Like, Chase could be out of this game early if he goes up.
This is one where if Chase was healthy, you'd feel stupid. But if Chase has a good game, you're not going to feel stupid for benching him because of everything we know. Everything we know.
Yeah, we're just using the information, right? So that's all it is. I'm going Sutton over Palmer.
And if Chase is awesome, then even if he's on your bench, that's great news. Because you're like, okay, this guy's back. I got it right. So like you're still gonna feel good about if Chase goes off,
Agreed. Palmer or Sutton?
Sutton.
Yep. Sutton
Number one.
Chase, Godwin, or Neighbors? Pick one. I like Godwin here.
I like Godwin as well.
Grande's playing all the Bills today. Could definitely be a spot. I think on with Kincaid and your Josh Allen stack,
High. I mean, it's a high over under game where they're favored by 7. I think the Bills have the highest implied point total of the week.
Yeah. Pittman over Yossi for sure. Yeah. That's easy. Javonte White or Thomas here. Where are you with Rashad White?
I like him more than Howard. Howard really doesn't like him. And I get it why Howard doesn't like him because he was not efficient last year. And we could see Bucky Irving in a pass catching capacity. And I don't like what the coach said about, the coach goes, you always go with the hot hand. I was like, what? I was like, that's not what a lot of teams don't do that. There's like 2 teams that do that. It's like, he's like, yeah, you go with the hot hand. That doesn't sound good to me. That doesn't sound like Rashad White's our starting running back.
Yeah.
So I'm going Javonte.
Yeah. Go Javonte for me too.
Hamburglar in the house. What up, Josh?
Javonte Pittman or Yoshi Pittman for me.
Yeah.
Dell, White, Ford, and a flex 1 point PPR.
Man, I'm gonna even being low on Tank Dell, I'm gonna start Tank Dell. He's just too good.
Tua or Kyler 4 point passing touchdown league.
You thinking what I'm thinking, John?
I'm thinking Kyler. I don't know.
Kyler. It's Kyler. Yeah, absolutely.
Ken Lamar's doing a halftime show. It's bad news for Drake.
I hope it's the Bills game.
Nice. Tough look for Drake. Chase, Thomas, Cooper, or Deontay need 2.
I would start Amari Cooper, probably Amari Cooper and Jamar Chase. Man, I don't like Brian Thomas Jr. That I'm finding.
I like Deontay Johnson.
So do I. So do I. But I mean, over Jamar Chase,
he's gonna.
If it's full PPR, go Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, let us know, Cook. Is it full PPR? I don't know. There's such weird vibes on Jamar Chase, man. I don't know. He's gonna be on Christian Gonzalez. Is gonna be on too. Like,
here's my question: like, doesn't he have a Peloton? Why isn't he ready to play? Like, why isn't he in game shape?
Well, now he's sick.
Whatever.
Dude, this guy wants to get paid. He might just walk through the motions on this game.
I mean, I'd be playing pretty careful.
Even though he has a contract, he wants to be the highest paid wide receiver.
I'm not lowering my shoulder if I'm Jamar Chase. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you're not going over the middle. You're not going to run extra hard.
He could score touchdowns by accident today. Waddle. Full PPR.
I'm good with that. Pittman, Javonte, Yoshi, AD. Still going to go Pittman here.
Pittman, yeah, absolutely.
And Yoshi versus AD.
We've been AD on that.
Okay. Neighbors or Dell? I'm going to Neighbors. He's the number one receiver.
Upside.
Yeah. Ford or Swift is a good one.
That is a good one. I think I would go Ford. I just do not trust for Swift to be good, the Bears have to be good. I got to see it once. I got to see Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is good. I believe in him, but I think Ford in that offense is pretty.
Dude, he was a home run hitter last year, and he's involved in a passing game. They re-signed Donta Foreman, so like maybe Foreman gets a touchdown run today, like vultures that. But
Fremont was vulturing touchdowns all the time last year, and Ford was still good.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kamara
Fremont scored like 8 touchdowns or something stupid like that.
Fremont,
6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns.
No. Kamara, Johnson, Pickens need to.
Kamara and Deontay Johnson. Now that Justin Fields is starting.
Yeah. Poor Pickens, right? Thought he was getting a quarterback finally. Warren or Palmer today?
So Warren is officially active after having a hammy issue, but man.
Again, I'm downgrading all of the
go Josh Palmer.
Yeah. McLaurin, Javonte, and Montgomery, PPR need a flex.
McLaurin has been good even with very bad quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm fine with McLaurin. Obviously, Montgomery has a touchdown upside, right? 13 touchdowns in 14 games last year, and should have had 14 and 14, but he just let Jahmyr Gibbs score one day. So
we're gonna finish the questions in the chat. Any questions after 12:05 though? No good. If you can get a question in before the timestamp changes right now, get it in. But we're gonna get these done. We got to get out of here. We got some stuff going on. All right.
Yep.
12:07. Okay.
Yeah,
12:07 official final.
We'll make up the time we lost. And you want more questions? Get in our Discord. Currently free to join Fantasy Alarm and get in our Discord. So
free real estate.
Howard Bender's in our Discord right now answering your questions. Don't you want get your questions answered from the RotoBuzz guy there? So fantasyalarm.com/win. Sign up for the free trial. Get in our Discord. We did that one. Ridley, Addison, or Dunze.
Ridley.
Yep. Metcalf or Kirk. I like Metcalf here.
I like Metcalf, yeah, even with the tough matchup with Patrick Surtain, but still Metcalf.
FA guys never sleep. I went to bed at 4 o'clock this morning, so
got up at 4:30.
Yeah, I was pretty much as Grande said. I sent out a scheduled email at 2:30. Also happened. Did not sleep. No. Coop, you posting your yin yang tight end?
Yeah. So here's what we're doing this year. There's a free waiver article that goes out. So I have 3 waiver articles. One is free, and in the tight end section of that will be the yin and yang tight end chart. That is the rest of season charts. After this show, I'm going to tweet out my weekly rankings, just the final update for that for everybody.
Sure.
So those are 2 different things. Yin and yang is a season-long strategy, and then a weekly rankings are going to be linear because we have starts and decisions.
All right, let's see if we can stick with the rapid fire. Just say a name, Coop. Debo or Tank Dell?
Debo.
White or Godwin?
Godwin.
Pickens, Godwin, or Deontay Johnson?
Godwin.
ETN or Kenneth Walker?
ETN.
Shakir or Palmer have PPR?
I'm going Palmer. I don't really trust Shakir yet. I need to see his role change from last year. Last year was a part-time guy, punt returner.
JSN, Pollard, or Moss?
I like Pollard, John, but you could sell me on JSN.
I like JSN.
JSN.
I would actually put Moss ahead of Pollard today as well. Montgomery, Najee, Moss, or Gus?
Monty. Touchdown time, baby.
Yep. Any deep stashes? Hey Jeffrey, there's an article on Fantasy Alarm for stashes.
Yes. So what I did this year is I took the waiver article. I was sick of it being like not addressing some key questions. So there's going to be 3 articles. The free one is just the overall best ads of the week at each position. Then I'm going to have another article called Stashes that are the deeper players that we believe in the talent, but they don't really have short-term upside. So for instance, Isaiah Likely was in that one, and he turned out to have the upside right away. But
Right
like
away.
Dontavian Wicks, a few of these guys, Jalen Wright, who he needs an injury to get unlocked, right? Those type guys.
Yep.
And then the other article is going to be the streamers, which are guys that we don't really love the long-term upside, but we do love the short-term matchups, right? So with like Matthew Stafford's out there, it's going to be a shootout. Baker Mayfield against Washington. Like, so that's what we're doing in those articles. We're breaking it down to really help you focus on what your team needs. Do you need a player to start now? Or is your team loaded? And the only thing that's going to crack your upside is crack your lineup is crazy high breakout upside. Then you go to the stashes article and pick somebody from over there.
Yep. So this is, would you start Kirk over Chase today? And I would.
Yep.
Yosivash, McConkey, Dowell.
No Dowdle, dude. I think that's where I would start Yoshi.
Okay. I'm going Falcons over Bucks D.
Good options in DFS.
Yep.
To me, it always boils down to who's more expensive and just figure out the pricing that way based on upgrades, circle back to it, but both good options.
Singletary and McLaurin, 1 point PPR. I like McLaurin here.
McLaurin, yeah.
Full point PPR, Javante or McLaurin.
McLaurin still.
Kyler, Stafford, Baker today. I'm gonna go
Kyler. Yeah.
Kincaid, Montgomery, Moss.
Oh man.
You get off your guy Kincaid?
I will start Kincaid. I do love David Montgomery, but I'm gonna
David Montgomery is great. Great.
In full PPR. If it was half PPR, it would be easy, David Montgomery. But go Kincaid.
Last question of the show. Njoku and Ingram as tight ends in one lineup. Would you play them both?
Depends who your flex is, Jim, but I have Ingram over Njoku. I'm a little worried about Njoku, to be honest with you. So I'm starting Ingram for sure, and then it depends who your other guy is. Hit us in the Discord, Jim, with the other half of that question if you want to add who the flex is. But thank you everybody for hanging out, man. I'm so fired up for football today. And again, I'm going to tweet out my tight end rankings. If you have any more questions, the Fantasy Alarm Discord right now is part of the All Pro package, which is free. I'm in there. If you want questions, ask me questions, drop them in Coop's Corner. Howard Bender is in the redraft channel answering questions there. So you can drop the same question in both channels if you want us to answer. So get over there now, get set up. All you have to do is pick one of either the monthly or the annual subscriptions, and it gives you the 7 days for free. And you can check everything out, decide if you like it, win a bunch of money with all our DFS stuff. And then once you win a ton of money, then your membership's already paid for.
Sure. If you sign up today, you get your week 1 and then your week 2 NFL DFS content. So
you get it all.
Best time to do it right now. Fantasy.com/win. This is a limited time offer, by the way. 7-day free trial will not be here forever. So sign up, try us out today here, and stick with the family forever. Coop and I will be back next week at 11 o'clock. Till then, everybody, good luck. NFL week 1, we finally here.